A wise man a long time ago wrote, "The English never yield. And although driven back and thrown into confusion, they always return to the fight, thirsting for vengeance, as long as they have a breath of life." I think it's, I've been sort of outside looking in on a particular world and culture since I was probably 16 when I first went to Smithfield, worked at Smithfield, and it just the time was just right. There was an opportunity to make a film, and within a sort of, we hope, is a sort of fast-paced thriller. Is a look at a culture and a lifestyle, and a group of people that actually got their own language, and yeah, it was just the time arrived. It was just a time where there was an opportunity to make a film, and I think people thought I was going to make a football film, but that was always going to be, to me, the football is the equivalent of the traffic jam in the Italian Job. You know, it was always going to be a gangster heist movie. But I think when the project first started, people thought I was going to make another football film, but sort of done that. You know, it's time to move on from that genre, I think. One, I had a very, very good cinematographer who's a genius. That helped. And I think that I'd sort of look at the monitor for some of the sort of wide shots, the establishing shots. But sort of once I got in the scene with the close-ups, I mean, I suppose I've been doing it a long time now, so you sort of know if, as an actor, you know if a scene's working or not. You don't really know, even if I was sort of in the scenes and not directing, as an actor you think, well, that scene's working, you know, the chemistry's right and the feel of it's right. And I think you just got to trust that. I think it's about delegating as well. You know, you have to delegate and then hope people do their jobs well. But I think I was very fortunate. I mean, it was a very experienced cast, as you can see. I think that made my life a lot easier, and a lot of them are friends as well. So again, you know, you hit the ground running. You haven't got to sort of build relationships because they're people like I say, that I socialise with or have worked with before. So it was easy in that respect, I think. Yes, certainly some of the characters, Craig Fairbrass's role, Tony Denham's role, Neil Maskell's role, they were written bespoke for them. So yeah, and then I was very lucky to get like sort of the quality of cast, you know, people like Dexter and Nick Moran coming in and doing a day for me, you know, which was so lucky. I am out of favours now with all my actor friends. I'm completely out of favours. Yeah, I was lucky in that respect, and I think the icing on the cake is when sort of we knew we had Charles Dance, and that was slightly surreal on Westminster Bridge, thinking, what on earth am I going to say to Charles Dance? But he was great. I mean, he was a real gentleman, and I think he's brilliant in the film. It's one of my favourite moments is when Charles Dance is doing rhyming slang, when he says, talking of haddocks, you don't talk in the motor. It always makes me smile. It's Charles Dance doing rhyming slang brilliantly.
My character, the Peking Princess, who is Mickey's girlfriend, she is, as Mickey says in the film, the Queen of the Wets, which is white estate trash.
Yeah. Because I had no idea when you said it Wednesday, I was like, I do not know what that is. Yeah. I'm gonna nod. And then when I saw it, I was like, I get it.
Yes. So I think actually really describes this kind of girl. I mean, she's like grows up on a estate, but always looks immaculate and has got designer shoes, got Christian Louboutins and kind of designer dresses, but is going back to her estate in Peckham. And it's like this really kind of weird sort of thing that happens in the southeast. This kind of culture.
It was interesting because when I wrote that part, I knew I'd have to find someone who knew that area, and it's a long story. But when I found out that Keeley was sort of in Los Angeles training to be an actress, but I knew we grew up in the same estate, not at the same time, but we grew up in the same sort of little enclave in South London called Downham. So I knew she'd know that character because of where you grew up, and that's the first thing you said to me when you read the script.
Yeah.
You two make Reggie and Ronnie look like the Everly brothers.
We don't care.
Well, a mutual friend, and I thought, well, this is interesting, you know. And
It's like your cousin, friends of my
Yeah,
friend's
yeah,
dad.
something like that,
Kind
something
of one of
bizarre.
those. And, yeah.
And I thought, well, this is interesting. And then we first spoke on the phone, and when I found out particularly that Keeley was at the Strasbourg Institute, and that, straight away that rang the right bell with me because of the sort of style of acting that we sort of are into. And you came over and screen tested. I was
Yeah.
a mutual friend, and phoned you up and came over and screen tested, and I thought, yeah, that's it.
No, I don't think so. I think Frank was really good at sort of being there as an actor and as a director too. I think, yeah, it wasn't.
No, it was.
No,
I
I
think
don't.
it's. I mean, the first time we met, I think sometimes you just, you know, I mean, we click straight away, and you know, it's
Yeah.
sort of, I think when you sort of get on and you're sort of, I mean, you're on the same page. You want it to be as good as it possibly can, and I think once you're working and all sort of going in the same direction, it's not difficult really.
Yeah, and I think it probably helped too that you were kind of directing. 'Cause
You think so?
yeah.
Yeah. No, it was fun. It was fun.
I do a lot of this. I like talk with hands, and I like realise I'm not saying anything. Like, yes.
What's happened?
We lost a parcel.
100 keys of uncut Bolivia marching powder were washed up on the beach yesterday.
I just hope they enjoy it. I mean, I think when you make a film, you want people to go to the cinema and enjoy the experience. I mean, that's why I go to the cinema, to have a, you know, sit there for an hour and 3/4 and enjoy it. So that's basically it, really.
To relax, have a good time.
Have a good time, yeah. And I think hopefully people like it. Everything at all.
Out the apples and pears. I know.
No, I actually text Angela Gotts, who plays Craig's wife in it. I did send her a text that she couldn't be there, but I just said your lovely boat race and great Scotch eggs were sadly missed on the red carpet last night.
Do you want to know why the English are so feared? It's because of us!